the relationship with them. Right now, the question we always ask ourselves, people are hurting and they're looking for financial freedom. And with the coronavirus that is happening, they're not just looking for financial freedom, they're looking for what to do being indoors. So this is the best timing for this market. This is the best timing for you to offer your business, for you to tell people there's an alternative way to earn money other than the traditional way they have been doing it, knowing fully well they can do it indoors, right at home. For a cold market, we have two types. The first type is the one-on-one, and the second one is the online. For the one-on-one, it seems very easy. It's not that easy. There was a time I went, I usually do my travel parties from restaurants to restaurants because Abuja, where I live, is a very large space. And many people will tell you, oh, Wuse is so far, I can't come, I live in Metama, I can't come to Wuse, oh, I live in Gadua, I can't come to, So we just move from location to location to ensure that we are able to meet everyone. And part of these locations end up being restaurants or pool sites and all that. The first time I had to be in Hilton Hotel, I was with one of our downlines and we just sat down there. Nobody came to us. We had invited, we had confirmed invites, but the confirmed invites didn't come. But we sat down and people were just ordering food, going away, ordering food, going away. So she said, listen, we need to break this place. We can't just sit down here for hours, nobody's coming to us. So we walked up to someone, and that was the first time in my life I've been able to break from my comfort zone, walk up to someone, say hello, and then tell them, I'm here for XYZ. Would you like to look? Do you want to know what I'm doing? And once we did that, before we knew what was happening, even the confirmed people just started coming. So we must learn to break that fear that stays within us. Also, when you meet the person for the first time, they may say no immediately. You don't have to hang on to it. In Nigeria right now, multi-level marketing has a very bad name. And I'm one of those who were involved in saying no, no, no to such businesses because they are known as fraudsters. They are known as lack of integrity people. They are known as people who don't stand for their word, and it's just quick money in and out. Everybody moves, everybody goes. So that was why when we had the second lecture, I was so touched because I didn't know that World Ventures was deeper than that. So whenever you do a cold market, especially in the country I come from in Africa, the first thing that happens is that people see you as a fraud person. So now you as an individual need to change that concept. It's not multi-level marketing that is bad. It's not multi-level marketing system that does not keep to his word. It's individuals. So what we're going through, finding our core values, keeping to our core values is so important because integrity, personal integrity, is what makes you different. When I try to speak to my one market and I told them, I said, you have joined this thing. You know how they are. And, it was, for me, I was like, okay, am I really a network marketer? Do I want to associate myself with that? But later on, I realized that it's not the business that is the issue, it's the individuals. And if these individuals are found in other businesses, it could also actually give those businesses a bad name. So knowing that World Ventures is deeper than just making money, doing the usual fraudster things they do, get the dollar today, get no dollar tomorrow, it means that we have something incredible that we can be able to show to people. Now, when you get the first no, never forget that there's no shortage of people out there. We always have people who want to work from home. We always have people who want to change their life financially. Now, if you're speaking to somebody one-on-one, the first thing you do is to start by giving the person a sincere compliment. Look at him up and down. You say, oh, hello, how are you? Your dress is really lovely. Don't say your dress is lovely when you know it's not lovely. Give a sincere compliment so that the person actually sees that you're actually complimenting the person. Oh, your hair is really nice. Remember, for male, don't always forget to add your wife so that the men don't feel that the girls don't feel that you're hitting on them. And for females, don't forget to add your husband or your boyfriend so that they also don't feel you're hitting on them. Then afterwards, you ask a question that is genuine. For example, you say, oh, are you here for a meal? Or do you look like someone I know? Or something that is genuine. And then the person says, oh, actually, I just want to hang out alone. Do you mind if I sit with you? Yes. Now, that already opens up an avenue for you to begin a discussion with the person. After that discussion, most times you end up with exchanging contacts. The mistake a lot of people make is that they try to prospect from the first day. When you try to prospect from the first day, it won't work. The person immediately sees you as, oh, okay, you came here to be able to catch in on me and do your business, right? Okay, I'm not interested. Go. So what you do is get familiar and collect contacts. The collecting contacts is not a situation where you say, can I have your number? No. You say, oh, nice meeting you. This is my number. I'll call you now. Okay, so I can save yours. Once you say, this is my number, I'll call you now, automatically the person gives you that number. But when you ask, can I have your number? The first thing that comes to your mind is you begin to question, this one wants my number. I don't even know the person. Should I give my number to this person? So don't allow the person to ask himself that question, should I or should I not? You should immediately catch in on that person and collect the number so that you can now arrange a coffee, arrange a meeting, or even prospect to the person on your phone. There was a time I took my child for swimming lesson, and there was this guy who came to swim there, but he wasn't going in. So I came over him and said, you came around. Are you waiting for someone? He said, oh, no. I actually came to. So why are you going? I said, because this water looks cold. And when I touched it was cold, I said, oh, really? Well, the children don't really care. They love swimming. So what do you do? I found out he was a military guy. And I said, oh, I'm an architect. And then we exchanged numbers. I said, I'm an architect, but I'm multi-income earning. So I do so many things. He said, oh, really? I said, yes, so. And then we exchanged numbers. Afterwards, I sent him a chat and said, okay, I told you I do so many things. Would you like to know one of the things I do? And he said, oh, go ahead. That was how I prospect to him. And eventually he signed up a week after. So if I had tried to prospect to him that day, the first thing he would say, no. Right now we have, in my country, we had a travel business that came in, and there was a lot of defraud that went on with that travel business. They came in giving the impression that they can travel everywhere. We later found out it was only South Africa they could go to. And it took 2.4 million naira to get enrolled. That's more than $3,000 to get enrolled. Now, so once you mention travel business in my country, everybody is skeptical. It's like, wow, another fraudster. So putting it forward, meeting someone for the first time, gives him the cling, 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 cling. I don't want to be part of it. You have to ensure that you enroll afterwards, not immediately you meet the person. Now, the next question you ask yourself is, when you want to do multi-level marketing, you ask yourself, you don't set out to recruit people when you're going out for a cold market. You set out to empower and to enliven people. To empower those who are looking for financial freedom, and to enliven those who are looking for travel in a different way. So when you're actually prospecting, you're not prospecting because you want to recruit them quickly and get them into, you're prospecting, giving them the idea that they're going to be empowered or enliven people. So like what Boss Lady Mule had said, you touch on the emotions. You ask them, what school are your children going to? And they tell you, oh, really? My children are going to so school. Are you serious? Most times, if your children are going to a school that is higher than theirs, they want to know what else you do. Then you are able to say, listen, I can empower you, do this, do that, do this. Then you also check. Most times you have to read who you're talking to. I've attended a lot of Macasetas courses, and those courses tell you how to be aggressive, how to speak to people. So there are cases where I go to a person I've never met before, and all I need to do is to say my pedigree and the person listens to me. And there are cases where if I say my pedigree, the person is disgusted. So I start by looking so low and then discuss with the person. So you must always, always, always check out the status of the person. The status of the person is easily read. There was someone I enrolled in Titanium recently. All I did was just look at her sandals. By the time I saw her sandals, everything about her didn't say Titanium. But when I saw her sandals, I knew it was titanium. So I started presenting and I was focusing on platinum, titanium, platinum, titanium. And she says, where is the highest level? I said titanium, and that's why I'm talking about it. I said everything about titanium, and she got on board on titanium. Fortunately, because I had already assessed her looks, and I knew that the best way to get this person on board and enliven the person's life was prospecting that part, which was the titanium that she looked like. So always check out the person you're discussing with in cold market, and then you're able to know where to go and how to speak. Now, the other part of cold market is the online. That is the most difficult. I tried to do the online. First of all, before I started doing the online, I had spoken to about 4 people who are in my warm market. And then these 4 people, to my greatest surprise, had been spoken to by Matt Morris. And I don't know who this Matt Morris is. So I called my big sis. I said, big sis, please, who is Matt Morris? I spoke to someone I know who is a top leader in another network marketing. And he says, oh, Matt Morris reached out to me. I said, how? Oh, through Facebook. Then I spoke to someone I went to secondary school, my school daughter's friend. And she said, oh, Matt Morris' ex-wife reached out to me. I have actually enrolled with her. I said, I spoke to another person. Oh, Matt Morris, 4 different people. 3 of them Matt Morris, 1 of them Matt Morris' ex-wife. And I was like, how did this happen? So I went into YouTube to find out things about Matt Morris, and this video that we actually are reading right now, we are listening to right now on Code Market. I had actually listened to it before now. And I was like, okay, so this is how this guy does it. Let me try it. So I discussed with my downline, and we decided to do the cold market on online space. The first rule is when you want to do online space, you must use a catchphrase. You must use a phrase that will interest people. You must use a phrase that will touch what a lot of people are looking for. Don't stick to one phrase. There are people who are looking for fabulous lifestyle for less, you put it there. There are people who are looking for financial freedom, you put it there. Don't put everything together. Let it be different posts. Matt Morris says do more than 1 post a day. If you're doing 3 posts, minimum of 3 posts a day, you'll find out that different people will respond to the different catchphrases. So we tried that out. We tried out for financial freedom. And to my amazement, I put a link, and 41 people actually clicked on that link and went into the group chat. The first 41, I did a presentation, sent in, told them about why I was director in World Ventures. I want to change your life. We're all in COVID-19. This is a new game, blah, blah, blah. Did all the presentation, sent in the YouTube presentation, and then said, when you're done watching, DM me, I'm waiting. If you are done, raise your hand. A lot of them raise their hand. And while you're communicating with these people, you have to ensure that as you speak, you say, raise your hand. So you know how many people who are online and who are actually looking at those videos or what you're writing. A lot were raising up their hands. And then when I was done, I said, DM me, which means direct message me. We had about 10 people who direct messaged me, and I now called them. Coach Henry always says, have a relationship with these online people. So you don't just stop with the chat. You need to call, you need to have presentations with them. After the first time we did this, 41 people signed into the link, but guess what? 30 people left the group. But I didn't stop. So that's what Matt Morris always says. There are people out there that still want a change in their life. So when you get the first 5 no's, first 30 no's, don't stop. And we put out another one, and another 20 people went into the link. It was from that 20 people I got the first 10 people who I was able to have a direct message with. Now, cold market comes with a lot of things. My big sis will tell you the last time when she spoke, Boss Lady Ziggy, there was one of the people I discussed with, and immediately I just said travels, and she said he was ready to enroll, send me your detail. Hey, fraudster, bye-bye, yo. So I said, listen, my name is so. I told you I am this, I am that, I am that. Carry everything and go, bye-bye, we know all of you. So these kind of things happen, but don't let it put you down. Because every single time, there will always be people who will say, bye-bye, you, and then they will not want to continue with you. So it's very key to make sure that you stay on board no matter what happens. Then you ask yourself, when you want to meet up with people you have never met online. That's cold market, which we had done with one of my downlines. We had to look smart. We went to their office. You also have to be very smart. What I did was, we called the person on the phone. We're meeting you up in the office. This was before COVID-19 happened, one of the cold markets we did. I had to keep watching to see who was on the phone while we walked into the office, so that when I meet her with a familiar welcome. So by the time we called her and said, "We're here, where are you?" And I just went, scan. I quickly saw a lady, two ladies with the phone. And then when she called, I saw the person who caught immediately we caught. So I walked up to her. I said, "Hello, you must be Linda." I said, "Oh, yes, I am. So who are you?" I said, "I'm Nkonye. I'm the person who reached out to you. So we're here," with a very beautiful smile. So at that point in time, I have broken the ice of unknown person to known person, because you need to watch out quickly. Don't just tell yourself, "Okay, I'm going to meet somebody I don't know," and then you have to break the ice the first time you meet by watching out for who is on the phone, especially if you're calling to let the person know you're there, and then you break the ice. You look sharp and smart. Remember the following: are you ready to open up? Are you ready to start a job where you can earn as much as you want? You should never ask for the person's phone number immediately, like I said, and you should be very, very bold. There are different books you need to read that will help you on this. People always say that network marketing is very difficult, but it's difficult if you make it difficult. And you must always have that look of integrity. You must always have that look of truthfulness. And you can't have that look of integrity and truthfulness if it doesn't come from within you. You have to make sure people trust you. You have to make sure that they are able to look at you and say, "Okay, I'm ready to enroll." That titanium who I enrolled that time, I've never met her before, but she was ready to give me her card because I gave that look of trust. I said, "Listen, can you trust me?" Because we tried to enroll her on the spot. Unfortunately, the card she had, it wasn't going through. And I said, "You need a MasterCard for this." And they said, "Oh, my MasterCard is at home." I said, "Okay, can you trust me?" That word is very important. And he said, she looked at me. I said, "Look at me. Can you trust me?" And I gave a very good squint, and smiled. She said, "I can trust you. I can trust you." I said, "Okay, send me your card." And guess what? You know what? I'm going to delete it once I'm done with your enrollment. And she said, I said, "I know. Can I have your card now? Are you ready to enroll?" Always have that looks like an unknown person can't trust you. If you don't have the disposition, just the same way the guy just said to me, "Bye bye, yo," and left, that's exactly how it should be. I've also had situations where I've done uh, gold market one-on-one. I went to meet her up and I sat down and I said, "Oh, that was the first time I actually did that." And I said, "Oh, I am a director in World Ventures." She said, "Oh, really? So what is World Ventures about?" "Oh, it's a travel." Travel, please go. I don't want to hear. So that is the reason why you don't prospect the first time. You need to understand who you're talking to before you prospect to the person. So I made the mistake by immediately telling her I'm into travels, and she has had a bad experience with the travel company that came the first time to Nigeria, and that was why she said, "Travel, please." You know what? I really came here to eat alone, and if you have to sit with me, then I'm going to change my table. That's exactly what she said to me. And I said, No. Please sit down and have your meal. You don't have to be that upset. I didn't know you've had a bad experience with travel. I just thought you would like to know. No, I don't want to hear anything about travel. Please, you should go away." And that was how she shoved us away immediately. So if I had built a relationship with her, not knowing who she was, she would have immediately known that I wasn't just a travel agent or somebody in the travel fraudster company, but I was me. And that with me, she would have been able to listen to me and still enroll in that same travel she was so afraid of. So you must have a disposition of trust the first time you meet someone you don't know, when it's one-on-one or when you have brought an online to one-on-one, and don't prospect immediately. The one-on-ones that you do online, most times you've already prospected, they already know what you're going to say, they know it's a business. Start with it, prospecting, but be friendly. Make sure you're able to catch them and close. Now, what happens with closing? A lot of people in the cold market don't want to close with people they don't know. If it's an online, they're skeptical sending their cards because they're afraid once they send their cards, all their balance in their account will disappear. So for an online, call the person on the phone, create a relationship. If possible, meet with the person. At this time when we have COVID, we can come out. That's what you say. Oh my goodness, unfortunately, we can't meet. Do you know how to do a Zoom? And if the person says yes, arrange to do a Zoom with the person so he sees your face and pegs the face to that person he wants to give his card to. Then you guide the person with enrolling via Zoom on the spot. If it's somebody that is one-on-one, get the person to enroll on the spot so you don't have to take the card. How do you do the on-the-spot enrollment? Be fun about the enrollment. Tease a lot. Make the person realize that, listen, you need to get on board. You made a decision. You want to change your life. And then begin to tell familiar stories. For example, if you ask the person, what's your name? Oh, my name is Ngozi. Oh, really? My goodness, Ngozi is a very famous name. Do you know in my house I have an Ngozi? My daughter's name is Ngozi. My other sister's name is Ngozi. Oh my goodness, I just love that name. That you've broken the ice. Or, oh, my name is Nkonye. Wow, unbelievable. My name is so rare, and that's exactly my name. You've already broken the ice by creating that familiarity with the person. With that, the closing becomes easier because you're having a fun closing. Don't ever make the closing look like it's a do or die affair. And once the person says, you know what, I just heard this for the first time, I like to think about it, let it go. There was someone my elder sister met in the plain cold market, and they discussed, she didn't prospect that day. And she told the person, see what I'm coming to Nigeria for. Coincidentally, that lady came for the Super Saturday presentation in Abuja, but she came at the end and I met her. And I found out that she was somebody that was in my children's school. She still didn't enroll. She still never gave me time to prospect to her. But guess what? She went to South Africa for her course, and Ziggy just kept asking her every single thing about her life, spiritual, her education, she was doing, her children. She's I think she's a widow, so she lost her husband and every other thing. And then at the end, she just says, oh, would you still like to know about that travel? And she says, oh, later. Guess what? Before she left South Africa, she enrolled. So that means don't hit the nail on somebody you don't know. Get the relationship so the person is able to come to you and be happy to enroll with you. And then you can move the person onward. Whether it's a cold market one-on-one or is a cold market online, never ever say that what you've done is okay or the no's are okay. There are always people out there, always people out there. Even up to today, another 20 have joined the link, which shows that people will keep joining the link. People will keep wanting to know. And as long as you keep showing, one day, 6 people will join. We got a group of people to enroll, and that was how I was able to get marketers. I said, listen, change your life, get into silver, and that's it. They all got into silver, and they're now doing this work to change their life. So never ever get tired of showing the business to anyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Coach Harry, once again. I really hope that I was able to make an impression and all. I don't have a red lipstick, but I hope my mouth was able to say something useful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Nkonye. I really learned a lot from what you have shared as well. Yeah. So look, I think what I've noticed that listen, Nkonye has now been going into a cold market as well. Let me just see. I'm getting some echoes. Okay. Right. So thank you so much for sharing this as well, Nkonye. And I've also learned quite a lot of few things as well, because I know you've been becoming a master of cold market. So I couldn't think of anybody else who could do this session besides yourself. I'm just gonna ask, is it my mic, or are you guys getting any echoes, or it's coming from me? If anybody's got your mic, that's
yes, we're getting echoes. It's not clear.
Yeah, there's echo.
let me.
Well,
can you guys?
I'm not getting.